Hi, it's Natalie from Odd Page Society. Thank you for joining me. Today we're just going to work on our backwards flip out journal. On the back of it, I'll show you a few things that I have planned and stuff that I've done already. So I've taken this stencil from All in Create and I have gone ahead and stenciled one of the pages on the back. I took my ribbon out and then I've deconstructed this portion as well. So I made a little mini book that fits in here, and I have taken this book out just to facilitate getting this all fixed up. I did some ink blending here and put some ephemera on, and I've got some tags, and then I did some stenciling and ink blending there. So the inside of our book is now finished. And then I wanted to work on the outside of it. The thing that I wanted to caution people to keep in mind is when you're doing this, if you can just remember that you need a hole here and a hole here for your eventual ribbon closure. And then I wanted to be also aware of how this is going to close. So this will be closing kind of around this way. So now our front is this primary portion. So anything I put in here is going to be the front of my cover. I've chosen to take this piece of washi, which I have cut down from this size of washi to fit the book. And then it's going to wrap around on the inside when we get that done. And then this will kind of be the focal point now of our cover. So that was important to remember, is that you're not really working on the back of the book, so as it were, you're really working on the front of the book when we're working here. And then I have yet to decide what goes here. I'm tempted to use this piece of foil that came from a chocolate bar wrapper. It has a few cuts in it just from portioning out the chocolate, but I think that'll be workable. So I could do that here, which I'm leaning towards. And I also have this piece of tissue paper that was provided to me as a gift. My friend went to Greece and Turkey and brought me home a gift for looking after her cats. So I wanted to use a bit of this as well. So I'm just kind of debating. I am certainly leaning more towards this than the lemons. Only because I feel like the colors go better with the owls than the bright yellow. Which I could tone down with some ink blending, but we'll see. So if I'm doing that, this is a little bit sticky because I've removed it from the initial backer that it was on. So the chocolate bar was like on this part, and then this part is a bit sticky. And I've had some challenges with adhesive on here. So I just want to make sure that if I'm putting anything on there, it's actually going to stick nicely for me and it's not going to peel or come up. And I don't think the adhesive that's left over on this is tacky enough to do it. So when I do that, I want to do that before I put the owls down. Because this is washi and I can see in through the back of it, I just wanted to do a little subtle ink blending there to give this a little bit of interest there. And also I didn't want the border to be exactly white, so that's why I've chosen to do it the way that I've done it. And in looking at it, I can cut it down a little bit more from the top. I just wanted to sort of play things by ear first. I'm going to open this book up on the back so it sits a little bit flatter and it's a little easier to work with. I am going to ink blend this portion in yellow again. I'm just going to use this piece. It doesn't have too much chocolate on it, so it's okay to use it as a scrap. I'm just going to put it in there so that any ink blending I do doesn't get onto the top of my book, which is important. I have been using for my yellow Sunflower by Concord at Night. This is just a dye-based ink. I like the color of it, and it's been blending well onto this metallic-y kind of paper. You can still see a little bit of the metallic underneath it, and the ink slides and moves over it quite nicely. So I just have to make sure that I spread it wide enough, and I don't need it super dark. Just need a little bit of color for the same reasons that I explained as to why I ink blended on the other side in the first place. All right, so then I think I'm gonna get my matte medium out, and we will put that on as our adhesive. So this is Distress Collage Medium Matte. I like using it along with this brush. I'm gonna brush it on here, and then I'm going to put our gold foil over top of it. This is a new container because I very successfully used my initial one earlier. So it's nice and liquidy, which is great. And then it's obviously picking up some of the ink there. That's okay. I'm just going to go a little bit wider than what I think I might need to use, only so that this is nice and thin, and I don't want the paper to buckle too much. The water content in this is pretty low, so it doesn't tend to buckle things, but you never know. And to make it easier for me as far as what I need to cut and get rid of at the end of this, I'm just going to line up the side and the top so that I'm only cutting kind of one piece in the end. And this is sliding everywhere, so just be mindful of that. And I'm just going to put this down initially with my finger. If I need to use a tool, I will. Maybe slide it up a bit higher here without kind of tearing it, and then see if my kind of those cuts can get covered. The thing about using or reusing items, or using items that would otherwise go in the trash, is, and that you've used, sometimes you just have to work with what you're given, and then the imperfections is part of what makes the junk journaling so nice. It's all unique and different. So if I really want the wrinkles to be mostly worked out, I will mostly work them out here. With my finger. And then if I want them to kind of remain less smooth, you work them out less. I don't know, this was from a chocolate bar that I got when I was on a family trip to Vienna. So I don't know if there's another brand that's close to you that you might be able to do the same thing with or not. And I'm just going to kind of rip this with my finger on the bottom. If I want to cut it, I might cut it later. And then if you find that there are parts that kind of peel up a bit, like this is peeling up a bit, you can sometimes slip the bristles underneath and then just pull it over. This does dry matte, so if you have anything shiny and it gets on top of it, it will take that shine away, which is something you can use as a matting technique if you want. But if that's not the look that you're going for, then just wipe it off before it gets dry. And then we might need to cover that otherwise. I'm going to cover this up, and then typically I will wrap my brush in a piece of press and seal. Sometimes I'll have like an extra piece because I don't need the full length of it. And I stick it to itself so it doesn't stick to anything else. And then I just cut a piece off here. And then I will wrap this around my brush. That way, if I decide to use it again today, I don't have to waste all of that adhesive by wiping it out, or the time that it takes to wipe it out. And then I can just put my box kind of back and down by the side. All right, so this one doesn't matter too much because our washi is going over top of it. So since it isn't secured down, what I can do is I can just kind of tear this as well so that I don't have a piece of washi tape secured to an unsecured piece of foil. And then overall the book will just have more integrity to it. And because this is a little bit taller than what I want it to be, I'm going to cut it down probably by like a 1/16 of an inch. It's not much. More firmly on here. I find normally if you hold your hand down and you hold the guard down and you just push in with the guillotine, you'll get a nice crisp clean cut. If you don't start it off that way though, it tends not to cut into the paper the whole way depending on what you're cutting. And this washi is quite thin. It does have a backer on it, so I'll just get that little scrap out of the way. For me, And I will just peel back enough so that it gets started. But I don't want to take the whole thing off because then it is more unruly to work with. I don't want to extend past this gap here. So I want to kind of line things up on the bottom, and I'm primarily looking to make sure that I'm lining it up to this side here as straight as possible. And then what you can do after you get like just a little bit of it down is you kind of look to see, okay, how much of an angle is this, because it's so long, is it going to skew off in? It's a little bit tricky to tell because of the plastic piece underneath, so there is a bit of a bulge there, and you can move it a little bit, but I think this top is too far over this way on an angle. So then, because it's washi tape and it's just been put down really lightly, it's easy to peel back up, and then I can start over again. If I was worried about whether this was going to stick down really nicely or not, or if it was going to start to peel up, I could actually put down the multimedia mat first, which would help it to kind of stick more than what the washi will have it stick to. I'm just trying to get the bottom here lined up. For now, I'm just going to see if I can get it on straight and in a way that I like it before I put any kind of permanent adhesive underneath it. And the page underneath it is a little bit wrinkly, so I might get some wrinkles in my washi just because of that. So we have gone up a bit more here than there. It might have been cut a little bit off of square as well. I'm unsure. And then what I can do is I can just use this to secure this down. What I'm looking for on the back of this book, which turns into the front of this book because of the backwards nature, is something that's really flexible. So I didn't want to put more paper on here because it's already stiff from the extra book that we've built into it, and the extra tags that are in on the other side in the envelope portions. So I didn't want to add something that was going to make it more rigid this way, and then that would impede it from folding nicely once it's all kind of up and done. So once you have that, we can flip it over. We can take this out, and then we can go ahead and take our scissors and just cut along the base here to get that extra foil off. And then that can just clear off of our thing. And then I like to typically angle this so that the bottom blade is coming up, and then you can line the top blade up with the edge of whatever you're cutting. And then the tricky part with this sometimes is just grabbing the first little bit, and then we don't want to cut the pockets, which are not perfectly aligned here, and that's okay. I don't aim for perfection. So we just start again, and then I just removed the initial kind of washi that was on the blade. If there's not enough washi tape to like really cut, sometimes it'll fold over. If that's the case, we might have to encourage it a bit with some stronger adhesive to stay, or it'll peel off on the back. So now we can just kind of have a look to see what it looks like. This is up a little bit more than what I wanted, but if we peel it over, I might just put some stronger adhesive down there. I like to kind of wait to see what it does. So if it peels back enough, we can just cut it, and then we've got all this nice ink blending. So the fact that this is kind of up a little bit, I could decide that I don't like that, and then maybe we'll trim that off. I'm unsure. I might put another piece of ephemera or do some kind of ephemera with some toadstools there, which would be fun as well. So now when our book wraps up, this is what kind of our wrapping looks like. And because we've now got the front portion on, I'm going to put these books back so that when we open it or when we fold it up, you can really see like where we need to make additional room for stuff. And by stuff, I was trying to look at it and decide what would make it work better because of this bulk that I've added, which was a new thing for this book. So it wasn't something unanticipated. So this doesn't bend that well because we're bending so much paper and squishing it a bit. So there's that to account for. And then this one now, I put some tags in it too. So when you look at it, like I kind of want this to be a bit wider so that this will be happier here. And sometimes it is just a matter of working with the fibers of the paper. The more you work them, the looser they get and the more comfortable they'll be. I'm not going to do a lot of work with this like overall. After I'm finished, it'll just likely sit on a shelf. But here we are so far. And then our ribbon is going to come out here and then attach kind of in the front of this owl. So I can do a little more decorating on the cover. The back now just has the stenciling on it. This was the additional cut that I had made when I made the hole. So I'll have to see if there's something I can do to kind of help to fix that. And then if you look from the top down, a few of these pieces are going to be cut, but you can just see how this doesn't quite want to fold like as well as the inner book does. And then we also need to keep in mind the fact that like the inner book is not fully decorated. So I will leave this now. I don't know if this back cover is maybe going to kind of go over a little bit more, and our book has the potential to shift this way as things bulk up on the inside, but we're making progress. So the next thing that I'm planning on working on, other than this disaster, is I would like to finish the internal embellishments here. I don't know how bulky I'm going to end up making it, but I also don't want bulk to be a restriction for me because I know that I have a bit of wiggle room with how big I have made the overall fold over of the book. And I'm not sure that I want to decorate all of these tags, but there certainly is the opportunity to do that. So I don't want to limit that. So I'm going to just let this kind of marinate for a little bit in my brain. It's been taking a bit more time to finish it than I initially anticipated, but it's really quite typical for my creative process not to be able to bang stuff out just in one go. So we'll see. I'm going to give this one a pause, and then I have some plans to make a few other projects, which I'm hoping to film for you. One of them is covering a piece of luggage that I'm taking on vacation in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping to film that process so that you can kind of see how it goes. And then I will do a follow-up video when I'm home, just to let you know how it survived the journey. And if there are any other suggestions I would have other than what I end up doing with it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, it is Natalie with Odd Page Society. I appreciate that you have a lot of creative options available to you and that you have chosen to spend some of your very precious time with me today. I hope you're crafting along with me. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos, there is a playlist called the Backwards Flip Out Journal with this. I also do a walkthrough of 2 other books that I have that I made prior to making this one. So if you want to check those out, feel free. And I encourage you in all of your creative endeavors today and moving forward. Bye.